Hi, it's Mark from Mark of the Cyberbeast. Here I am actually live in the Florida Keys at my wife's property where we're hosting a wedding. But this week's episode is not going to be on the Keys, it's going to be on the web version of Tessie and all the features you can see from a web browser. So here we go. So we're going to go over the web version of Tessie, which is going to be a little different than the app. There are some things you can't have access to, and there's some things you have actually better access to. So when you log in, this will be your dashboard, okay? Now, if you need to change vehicles, if you have more than one Tesla, it's going to be these arrows right here where you can change to my wife's Model 3 or stick with my Mark of the Beast. It'll give you your status, battery, climate, etc. Let you know your tires are good. As always, as the map in your regular black and white, you can always toggle the satellite view and you get a color representation. Now, what you'll notice here across the top right-hand side, we talked about this in the app, it doesn't carry over to your web browser. So if you click on the three dots for your settings, you actually have to add the honk again. We talked about that in the mobile video where we hit honk, we go to edit, and then we now toggle it and go back. And there's your horn as your shortcut across the top. So it doesn't carry over your settings. You think it would, but it just doesn't. It's just a different look and doesn't keep the same profile. Now, as we go down from the dashboard, the battery is a little different. It does give you a lot of good information here. Any phantom drain, what's usable, level. There's no phantom drain because I turned off my climate away for the weekend, but Century is still on. All right. Interesting though, it shows you the range as well as the real world range, right? It's never exactly the same, just like your miles per gallon. How much energy total has been used, voltage, amperage, temperature range, etc. You do not have the heart health here. We talked about that on the app, where if you click on the heart health, it gives you a detailed analysis of your batteries. It's just simply not here. Now, if you go to climate, this is where you can change your climate controls, let you know the exterior temperature, where it's at, turning the seats on and off, camp mode, doggy mode, etc. Tires, just like before, you've got your PSIs on all four. Schedule. Some people will precondition their battery when they're going to charge, if they know they're going to charge. You can have a charging schedule set. We do. We block the charging from 9 to 6, or sorry, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Every day. It's set up that way because it's a much higher fee here in the winter. So we adjust that. Now, software gives you your current version, any updates available, how many updates I've ever installed, the days since my last update, and the average time between. And cool thing is you can go into the history and get the details. And the cool thing is it shows the release map of the deployment, rollout by day, how many days it took for that rollout to go. That's all directly from Tesla. And the current version, the cool thing is you click on it right from Tesla, gives you all the information about the update. This is the latest 13.2.8, and there's nothing else available. So again, it is pretty cool that you can get all the details on there and all the details from all of your updates you've done, for instance, this year. We go back even to an older version, okay? Here's the release notes from 12.6.4 and what it includes versus (13.2.4). That was just there. So there's that firmware. We talked about this a little bit in the other video. Where this is any alerts that it gets when a door opens, door closes, when you hit a horn, Century goes on, etc. Open your charge door. It reports back from each item because each item in a sense, has its own controller and reports back to the main system every time it does something. Your truck is more or less a computer. Okay, activity in the last 24 hours. As you can see, I haven't been home, so no driving, just some charging, idling. Shows the battery state, usable battery, range, energy, how my odometer's been the past day or so. Well, obviously I haven't been home, so has not moved. Interior temperature, exterior temperature, power consumption, amperage, voltage, battery current, and battery temperature. So you can get some real good details here with everything. And you can, again, export this to CSV if you really want to analyze it. Commands is going to be, again, I just did the honk for you guys here a few seconds ago. I also adjusted my charge limit. Cabin overheat protection before I left, I turned it off, etc. So any command you had set up either on your app or in your device is going to be listed there. Sentry gives you your list of Sentry alerts and where they happened. It sees movement and where it happened. It doesn't show you the video, it just simply tells you the activity. Okay, you have to go to your computer or your truck, your computer truck, to actually watch it. Your list of drives, again, we talked about this before, from and to, your battery usage during that time period, how many miles, etc. Again, the map of your route, whether you want to look at it in satellite or black and white, and analytics. So shows the total distance in the last 7 days, amount of energy used, electric cost. So I did adjust this. My rate is 0.0997 cents per kilowatt hour. So I went 121 miles and it cost me $5.31. My Tundra took premium. It was about $4 or $5 a gallon here. So I went 120 miles, which would have cost me probably six times, about $30, and drops it down to $5. That's why I love my Cybertruck. My Tundra serves its purpose, but it's nowhere near the cost of my Cybertruck to maintain. 4 cents a mile, that's just absolutely amazing. The total cost of driving if fuel was used. I love how Tessie puts this here. Isn't this amazing? You know, it says $17, but honestly, it would have been twice that. It would have been $30 with my Tundra. Probably regular carts, $17, but my Tundra, definitely, it would have been 30. Time spent driving, number of drives, the efficiency, speed efficiency, temperature efficiency, etc. Charges. And again, you could export this to CSV. Lets you know from what charge rate to what charge rate. You know, if you 51 to 61, 61 to 83, etc. What time, etc. The map of where I charged exclusively at my home. I'm local. I only charge at home. Only when I go on trips is it supercharger, and that's a handful of times a year, if that. Range added, energy used, energy costs. Okay, and there it is, 0.1 per kilowatt hour. It's actually, again, 0.09997. They just rounded it up. If fuel was used, it would have been $60. Again, with a Tundra, it's twice that. So I know I'm saving a lot of money with this vehicle. My charger efficiency, 90, almost 7%. That's great. Number of charges, etc. If you want to look at your idles, you'll see it's usually at your house when it's idling. Again, you've got your map of where you're idling, where you're parked, and your analytics, okay, if it used power while you're idling. Here is your battery health. It's no longer under the battery. Now, again, we talked about this in the last episode. This is really cool. You can set your battery date. Maybe you, in warranty, you had battery replaced, or you wanted to put your delivery date in here. You can go ahead and, for instance, I got mine June 22nd, I believe. Yes. There we go. All right, my battery health, 98.6. Degradation's 1.4, say. It's in great shape. Talks about the capacity for Charges, max range is just under 300, just the way it should be. Charge cycles, and they say it's supposed to last at least 1,500 cycles. I'm only at 30, got plenty of time to go. Amount of total energy used. But again, this battery health, it's not underneath your battery. It's over here now, okay? The web app. Greatest part of Tessie is right there. Again, your automation, and you could sync this to your entire fleet, okay? So you don't have to go to each car and set it. You can actually go across if you have multiple cars. And I'm in New York time zone, so I want to make sure I set that. Your automation, again, your runs once. If you need anything like that, repeating automation, you can set it right here. When it parks, you can set charge limit, remote start, cabin protection, blah blah blah. A couple different options you have there. Start seat heaters. If you're in cold climate most of the year, you probably want to set that. If you're like me and you get up early in the morning and go to the gym and it's usually cold, you can just set it to warm up for you so you don't get in the truck and it's cold, okay? And that's something a lot of people do, is set their vehicle to either warm up or cool off, depending on the time of the year, right before they go to work or go to the gym or do whatever they do. Again, you could do it for on departure. Not sure what you would do on departure. Usually it's going to be at a set time, but you do have that option. When plugged in, you can enable dog mode, have it fart, whatever, when you're plugged in. And then your charging schedule. You can restrict it like I do during certain times to allow for the cheaper rate and then synchronize it to the rest of your cars in your fleet. Your alerts, great thing as well. Lets you know when there's software updates, weather warnings, when your vehicles are left or your doors are left unlocked, any climate safety, any movement and alarms. So again, if someone's gonna mess with your Cybertruck, it'll alert you. You can turn it off. I would suggest not doing that. Driving alerts. This is great if you have teenagers and you want to alert you when the speed goes over a certain amount. Again, when you arrive, when you depart, you can have certain things it does. I'm not sure what is practical, but it's available. Charging, again, different things you can do. Charge start when charging begins. That kind of doesn't make sense. So if we turn that on, when charging, I guess it's going to override your schedule. Okay. You're probably not going to edit any of this. Maintenance, though, you will. It's going to alert you when you have low tire pressure, remind you of a tire rotation, check your brake fluid, your brake calipers, air filter, etc. all right here. And again, synchronize to your fleet if you want to adjust that. Okay. Save locations, go to your home, your work, etc. Cost projections. So again, this is going to be with my new numbers. So yearly compared to a vehicle that really gets half the mileage of my Tundra, I'm going to save $1,200 a year. Reality compared to my Tundra, I'm going to save like $2,500 a year. Okay, which is really cool. Sentry mode usage, just lets you know how much it costs to run it, I guess. And Sentry uses about 6 kilowatt hours a day, whether you realize it or not. It does use a lot. So information there on your cost projections. We talked about integrations. You can integrate with Alexa, Google Assistant, and other Tesla apps, Tesla Fleet API, etc. So all right there. And I think Apple now has their Apple Watch that works with it. Right there it is. I'm not an Apple person, so you'll never see me wearing an Apple Watch or having an iPhone. Underneath more, you've got what's new. And it tells you what's new in 14.2, which is really cool. It lets you know everything that they've done. Drive pin is pretty cool. So you require a pin before driving. Again, if you have people borrowing your car, etc. Another thing too is referrals. Much like Tesla, you can actually get referrals with your Tessie app. So if you do want to try this out, please use my code in the description below so that I can get credit for it. I'd much appreciate you for that. Software tracker. This is a part I couldn't really show you on the mobile app because you really couldn't see it. It shows you the different versions, what's phasing out, what's rolling out. And this latest one, 2025 2.6.2, it's rolling out to Australia. That's the Australia release. Interesting. So all by geography, this is the entire world in real time to let you know also what's phasing out. So pretty cool stuff right here. All right, and this is all the detailed stats. System status is also cool too. We briefly touched on it in the last video. This shows you all the services are online for Tessie, the website, the dashboard, the APIs, the apps. It also lets you know if Tesla Fleet API is online. It looks like China had some downtime here for a while. Was it intentional or were they just watching? Chinese are always watching. You've got a help over here, brings you right over to the web page if you need any information regarding the product. Finally, in settings, you've got your account, your billing, your display interface and units, electrical cost, fuel costs. So all information right here. So I might want to go in here and adjust this because my Tundra did take premium. So it was more, and I was getting more like 18 miles per gallon on my Tundra on a good day. So that was really more accurate fuel costs. Electric costs I've already updated, 0.0997. That's my default. Let's see, Tesla account settings. If you want to remove the key that you gave the Tessie to use into your Tesla app, you can. You could disable tracking. Again, we talked about that. If maybe you're going through a divorce or something like that, you can disable so you can't spy on your spouse or ex-spouse. Developer API. If you are developing, want more information, it's all right there. So you can adjust your email address, your plan, etc. Everything by default English, US dollars, Fahrenheit, PSI, etc. So that's all going to be standard by default. Other than that, I am pretty sure that's really about it. If you hit the I here to show vehicle info next to your car, it brings up your VIN number, where it was built, your miles that are on it, your license plate number, any invoices, who the drivers are, telemetry. It's enabled. You can disable it right there. Here's your drive pin, speed limit if you want to set that. Any notes you can put in there. I'm not sure what notes you want to put in there. Maybe maintenance, there you go, or anything else. And that's it. So this is the web version of Tessie. Again, very similar to what you had. It just puts everything in a little different location. If you're not near your phone or near your vehicle, you can just access it anywhere by going to tessie.com and logging in. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, hit like, comment, subscribe below. As always, I'll answer as many questions as I can. And thank you again for joining me today. I'm going to see you guys again tomorrow. Remember, always hit like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you again tomorrow with more content from the only YouTube channel that has daily Cyberbeast information for you and your Cybertruck.